If you think that porn is free, I've told you time and time again, porn ain't free. I've also told you that recovery is where you pay for the porn that you thought was free. Now, what I'm going to tell you today is I'm going to talk to you about a gentleman who spent $200,000 on pornography. Again, I'll repeat myself. This gentleman spent $200,000 on porn. And the worst part about it, it wasn't even his money. This is your life. This is your life. Right now is your life. Life is about right now. Live and live are spelled the same way. In order to live, you must be live right now. The past does not equal the future unless you give the past permission. You are the sum total of your dominant thoughts and decisions. Yes, you are. So, a little birdie told me that you have an out of control sexual behavior of some sort. Pornography, masturbation, fantasization, or some kind of unhealthy sexual behavior. A little birdie also told me that it's starting to get the best of you. And it's not okay anymore. That's good news. It not being okay. Because that's the beginning of how you can change it. We're going to have an adult, grown folk conversation about behaviors, attitudes, decisions, choices, actions to become healthy. Becoming healthy is a journey. It's not a one and done. It's not like this sexual addiction BS that you do where you just get all excited, you do this, and then you blast one. Now, it requires a lot more work than that. It's an entire journey, folks. I'll go ahead and get into the festivities, the real festivities, because I'm sure you're waiting to hear what it is that I have to say about this guy who spent $200,000 of somebody else's money on porn. Yep, sure did. Gentleman, Amato, I guess is how you pronounce it. Yeah, this one kind of slipped by me because it's not too far from where I live, and so I'm going to do two things today, which is very interesting. I think I wish I was like a investigative reporter. I'd rather be a porn recovery coach, but just the same, it's nice to be an investigative reporter because that's just a hobby that I have. I love crime stories. I love investigations and them finding out things. I think you know that by now. So yeah, this one is like a real, like, it kind of shocked me because it was so close to me. And as far as near in terms of distance, and then not only that it really did echo on the porn, and then it echoed to an egregious level. So it's a difficult juggling act that I'm going to do here today, which is report, because I kind of want you to know about the story, and then also tie it into the its link with pornography. And the only reason why the story is even relevant, because really, like, we could just go home. The guy spent $200,000 of somebody else's money for porn. We could just go home off of that, but like, you don't really get what's really behind this and what's going on. And as I tell this story, I'm going to tell you the story in such a way that you're just going to see all these different pornography, pornified mind. You're going to see all that, the remnants of the pornified mind. If I can tell the story half decent, you'll see all of the remnants of the pornified mind in the way that this guy behaved. And it's really a sad story. I have said before that porn has a way of making criminals out of people. And, the sad part about it is that after a person really crosses the line into really becoming a criminal, then it's proper to deal with them as such. And one of the things that I find very sad is that I've seen so many guys that I would think are nice guys, number one. And then, without being descriptive, if you don't have any imagination, then I guess you don't have any imagination. These guys are not like, real good specimens for like the jail, if you will. And you can use your imagination on that. I guess I'm trying to say a couple of these guys I've seen, are like 120 pounds, 110 pounds, 130 pounds. A couple of these guys, that's going to be kind of like a hard road in jail, especially when somebody knows that you're a sex offender. Now, Grant is not a sex offender. Grant is actually a murderer, unfortunately. On January 29th, 2019, and I'll take that back. It was on January 24th, 2019. Some kind of activity happened over his house. So, I don't know. I'm all over the place. Let me try to set this story up for exactly what's going on. So I've already said that Grant's a porn addict. In addition to Grant's like the quintessential porn addict. Okay. So not only does he do porn, he's a gamer, and gaming and porn kind of are similar, because like if you look at like dopamine inducing functions and things that fulfill needs, gaming fills a lower amount of needs than porn, but gaming does fulfill the needs of connection, challenge, community, significance, challenge, achievement, occupying somebody's boredom. So it meets 5 needs. Amador, my buddy, he'll tell you all about that if you go to one of his videos. But the bottom line is gaming meets a lot of inner needs of the person, and porn meets more needs than gaming does. And then when you combine them, a person has like, again, a higher entourage. So that's Mr. Grant's deal. Grant's age was 32. I'm going to pull up the arrest report so that we can kind of get on the same page about what it is that we're going to do here. Let me do this here. So yeah, so Grant, let's start from scratch here. Come on, Joey B, you can do this. Yeah, is that it? Can you do that? That's not it. Go back here. You got it. There you go. Sorry about that. A little bit of technology. Okay. So, Grant, let's go here. Here we go. So Grant was in all this. Oh man, I hate. Let's see, Mr. Grant. Sorry about that, guy. Let's pull up his arrest warrant and see what happens. All right, so this is the arrest warrant of Mr. Grant. Here you see 120, 510. I think you can see all that. So his age is like 32. And a waste of life off of porn. And here's the deal. Here's what happened. Somehow, as I've said before, what people do is they have a way of amping their porn use. So it starts with something else, and then they want something else, and then they want something more stronger, and then they want chat girls. There's a picture of them. And in his case, that's kind of how it went. Some people, it could be, it has a lot of ways. In his case, it was chat girls. And I'm not going to give the site because I just don't do that. But I do find it ironic. The site that he went to had a name of free in it. So anyway, somehow Mr. Grant, I don't know, back in 2018 or so, he just like met this girl on this cam site and started spending a bunch of money on this cam site, and she probably told him a bunch of lies, and one thing led to another. And then the next thing that we know, this Mr. Grant character has spent $200 and something thousand of his parents, actually his dad's money, and some of it was his brother's money. Okay. So let's talk about, so that's what he did. And let's talk about a couple things that he did. The money he stole, this dude was out there getting loans on his dad's house to the tune of $65,000. And then like 75,000 he stole through some other form of identity theft. He did the same thing to his brother to the tune of $60,000. He stole guns from his brother. He has a childhood friend named Blake. They went to Japan together. Somehow he got a hold of Blake's Discover card and ran up. He heated up his buddy's Discovery card, $500. Now, not only was this Discover card not his, but his friend Blake's. But it wasn't even Blake's card. It was Blake's dad's card. So Blake's dad, all of a sudden, Blake is in Japan, and he wants to get something to eat with his card, and his card's frozen. That's what a porn addict would do to you. So then he calls home, and his dad texts him a screenshot that shows a picture of some online site that had been logged into. Of course, Blake's dad accused him of being the one who went to the cam site. So then his friends going through all this kind of drama and whatnot. So anyway, that's just, the kind of stuff. This guy was seriously a real piece of work. So what happened is that all this stuff, at one point in time, I guess you can kind of read that as I'm talking. At one point in time, eventually, the brother and the dad found out to what was going on. So then they sent Grant to some real specialty rehab center in Fort Lauderdale that's, designed for sex addictions and such of that nature. And I don't think he completed it all. I think he bailed out like very early. And I think they allowed him to bail out, but they gave him pretty much an ultimatum. And they gave him a list of things that he wasn't supposed to do. So, and one of those things was not to talk to this girl that he had spent all this money with. So what happened like on the 25th is I believe his brother Cody found out that he had been talking to this girl named Sylvie. And one of the things in the ultimatum was he couldn't talk to Sylvie. If I recall, there was all this stuff that he couldn't be on the computer. First of all, no all-nighters, and then something about not being on the computer, past midnight, and also, most importantly, not talking to this girl, Sylvie. So, like about the 24th of January 2019, it was revealed that he had talked to Sylvie, and then some kind of confrontation ensued, and basically what he did was he took the guns that he had and just pretty much they call this term is called familial side, and that's when you kill the whole family, I guess. Yeah, so that's what he did. Killed his mom, dad, and brother. That happened, I guess, on the 24th. His brother Cody, as well as him, he was registered. They were nurses. And then, of course, his brother Cody didn't show up. Nurses, the hospital called the police for a wellness check, and then that's how they found out that these people were dead on the 25th of January 2019. They collected Cody on the next day at a hotel in Orange County. And that's pretty much that. So how does this relate to porn? Whew. Well, first of all, it is porn use because the girl's she's a stripper, a chat girl. I'll bring her picture up in a second. And this evolved from porn use. That's it. You start with one site, and then you go to porn sites, and the porn gets old, and you need to amp the shocked up. And when you amp the shocked up, then you get tired of that. And it goes a lot of different ways. One way that it goes is the way that it went here, which was he did something this way. In some people's cases, something illegal. It's a lot of different ways how it can go, and that's why porn is dangerous. So, yeah, he wasn't even supposed to touch the computer at all either. That was another house rule. So he was 29 years at the time of this particular crime. And it's just, it's sad. It's really sad. Stole all this money, for this girl who was just basically lying. Then he went over that guy that I told you that he stole the Discover card from his friend, lifelong friend. Yeah. He also stole his lifelong friend's gun as well. So let's talk about what he did at the crime scene that's kind of like a porn addict. What he did at the crime scene was he tried to stage the crime scene. Okay, I'm not trying to help y'all do crimes, but if you ever watch these CSI programs, one of the things you find is that whenever people stage a crime scene, there are ways that the CSIs always find out, and pretty much people don't have the creativity to actually think. So they're so busy scrambling and putting stuff, so they don't really think of the crime scene as if it's a crime scene. They just kind of make up the crime scene as they go. So what this guy did is he did something stupid. So he planted the gun. He tried to make it like his brother shot everybody, and then he planted the gun on his brother. But the problem is he planted the gun on the brother in such a way that it made the brother like a left-handed shooter, when in fact the brother is a right-handed shooter. Now here's just a fun fact phenomenon. Left-handed people can shoot right-handed, some of them, a few. But right-handed people can't shoot left-handed. It's just a fun fact phenomenon. And what happens a lot of times is when people stage crime scenes, they stage them from their own vantage point, and they don't stage them as from the vantage point of the person. So he did that, which was just goofy. That's just goofy. That's rule number one. Like I don't, I mean, again, I'm not trying to advocate. I'm not trying to advocate somebody doing something wrong, but if you're going to do a crime, the best thing that you can do is not the best thing you can do is not stage the crime scene, because the thing is the professionals will be able to spot a staged crime scene a mile away. I think that's the girl, if you can see my screen. That's him. That's what a jailbird looks like. $200,000. Does she look like she's worth $200,000? And he actually got a life sentence over that foolishness. A life sentence, triple life, basically. It's crazy because it was happening. The weird thing is, like, well, you sit there and you say, well, how does this guy run up a $200,000 bill? And again, I'm not trying to tell the whole crime story, because that's not what I do. I'm a porn recovery coach. But no, it happened 500 at a time, and just this one, and just this other. And remember when I told you in the stipulations about what he was supposed to not do, he was not supposed to have all-nighters. So like he would go and buy these coins, and it'd be like $400, $500 at a time. And then he'd go over to the site, and then I guess he'd give her tips, and she'd do this. And they showed a couple of the screenshots, and some of them was a little bit on the risque side, and the ones that they showed. And of course, that's fine. Those were the tasteful ones. And for all I know, there probably may have been some graphic ones that were out there. I happen to have my Google search set in safe mode, so it doesn't show me adult images. Kind of hint for you, to help you not have those adult images. But yeah, one thing led to another with this guy. He ended up killing his brother, his mother, his father for porn. It's ridiculous. And I'm not finished with this pornified. See, first of all, the pornified mind will have you have a person do this kind of dumbass shit and think you're going to get away with it. That's what the pornified mind. And then you just keep adding on to the dumbass shit, and you still think you're going to get away with it. Like everything that I just finished telling you. Now, let me tell you this. He tried to collect the insurance policy. You know why he wanted the insurance policy? I mean, that goes. Oh, man. It's not even funny. I mean, that's not even funny. I mean, can you imagine the amount of time? And this is a nurse. Oh, my gosh. This is a nurse, educated person. I had to spend some time to research on the case, because I didn't want to talk about the case. Like, I don't like to talk about things just to talk about them, because I just think that it's not fair to just do that. I just figured I would get some knowledge on it, so I took some time to learn about this case. It was really tough for me to learn about it. It's like I said, $200,000 for a chat girl. Wow. And porn could take the guy so far down that hole that he would actually kill his own flesh and blood. Maybe, because he was mad at them. But, he wasn't really mad at them. He was mad because they were telling him the truth. And he didn't want to confront the truth because he lived in a phony world. And the truth, it's not going to exist in the phony world, nor will the phony world exist in the truth. It's a disgusting case for me, and I delve into cases, but this one I refuse to delve in. There's an interrogation that's like 4 hours long. It wouldn't have been the first time that I looked at a 4-hour interrogation, but I didn't think that it had any value that I could bring to the party. But I do know one of the things that he did tell the cops up front, because, I did kind of skip. I spent, 10 minutes over there, maybe 15 minutes. He told the cop the girl was his virtual girlfriend. And I'll repeat that again. He told the cop that this girl that he ran this but this is before, because he never really admitted to the cops, but he did acknowledge the 200, and he did acknowledge that there was a dispute about the 200. But he did call the girl Sylvie his virtual girlfriend, because basically the cop who knew what was going on said, explain this cam girl thing to me. What's a cam girl? And his exact words were virtual girlfriend. That makes it even worse. A virtual girlfriend caused you to do all of that destruction. I'm out of breath, man. I'm out of breath. This business about porn being free, check it. The costs are too immense. Most of the time, the costs are hidden until all of a sudden they manifest, like in his case on January 24th, 2019. And then his whole life changed. Because of porn and masturbation. Because Sylvie was a girl who would allow him to pull his member out and do the deed without me being triggered. I mean, you gotta and the thing is is that the kind of girlfriend that you want? From a realistic perspective. Some girl is just cool with you pulling out your member and shaking it. Just out the gate because you got some coin. I'm just saying. And I wonder what a girl like that would smell like. That's what I've always told my guys. Seriously. You ever thought about that? So, that's about all I got for now. I mean, she was golly. Grant Amado. Sir, you, I think, are the grandest of all porn addicts. $200,000 in stolen money. You were looking to collect an insurance policy to get some more money. You killed your mom. You killed your dad. You killed your brother because of a sickness that evolved from you getting out of control, was watching movies and nude ladies and pulling your member out and wanting to continuously amp the exciting the excitement up to the extent that it became cam girls. And you know the funny thing is Grant Amato, I mean what a philosopher he is, calling her his virtual girlfriend, because yeah, that's what a cam girl is. And the guy on the other side of a cam girl, I mean, I'm not trying to step on your toes, but, you know, I'm Joey P just keeping it real. The guy on the other side of the cam girl, he's a dumbass. Because usually that guy that will pay $200,000 won't pay $5,000 to get some good coaching, and he won't invest, you know, 50 hours in doing the work of recovery. 50, 100, 200, 500 hours, reverse the 2,500 hours that you've invested in the porn in the first place. And in his case, it's clearly he's in the 8,000 club. Anybody that's going to kill their mom, dad, and brother, oh no, they have not been wasting 2,500 hours in their life masturbating and looking at porn. Now they're in that 8,000 club. Yeah. You got to earn that sickness. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Let's be about the business of earning the recovery. And let's change our lives and make a difference. We don't have to be Grant. That is entirely ridiculous. All those lies, stealing, you know, and then you just become an unconscionable person. See, when you become selfish in your addiction, what happens is you get narcissistic. And when you get narcissistic because you're selfish in your addiction, you don't care about people. And that's why you would steal from a lifelong friend. You cause a lifelong friend's credit card to get shut down in another land, because you got to pull your member out and shake it to Sylvie. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. So as always, God bless each and every one of you. I do love each and every one of you. You guys have been very helpful community-wise. Whether you're talking or not, I feel your vibes. So thank you. But man, we got to get a grip, and not the kind of grip that we have been getting. I'll see you next time. Remember to make each and every day your living masterpiece. Why? Because you matter. And because I said so. I'll see you next time.